We got some news on Space Marine 2, potential season pass, DLC, and an upcoming beta, and might be some concerns as well. Let's go.
Recording this video, Space Marine 2 is 87 days away from general release, 83 days if you've pre-ordered the gold edition and upwards of the game. In this video, I want to try and cover all the possible information the developers have put out regarding DLC and season passes. I also want to cover some of the concerns about this and the pre-order bonuses of the game, and talk about a potential beta for the game, which lots of people have theorized we could be getting announced this month. So let's jump in and let's get purging. Now, one of the things that
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this game looks fantastic. I made a video about telling people, hey, I wouldn't pre-order it, and I got a lot of mixed comments. I won't lie to you guys. So some people were, not happy with it. Some people were on my side of it. But my whole thing with it is like, hey, I played a lot of Dawn of War, so that's the only experience I have with the franchise, right? Now, from the comments that I got, people are live die Warhammer, which I get it, right? I mean, the whole universe of it looks fantastic. My only thing with it was there was a lot of concerns about the game, and you know how games have flopped recently. So that was the only thing I really mentioned, and my reasoning behind the no pre-orders. So I'm going to continue covering this
we've
game.
discussed, but I just want to refresh
And I'm
for the
gonna be
purpose
playing
of this
it, too.
video is the in-game cash shop. We know that Space Marine 2 will not have an in-game cash shop, which for me, I see as a good thing.
That's
now,
a
I don't
huge
want to
win.
tar every
Huge
game
dub.
that has an in-game cash shop with the same brush, but what you normally find is games who have that system
holy
have
shit,
their
look at
own
this.
currency. And I'm going to refer to this as game tokens from this point onwards. Now, these game tokens do not normally favor the player, and what I mean by this is when you purchase the basic in-game token pack, it normally falls short of the item packs in the
Yeah, look, the problem with in-game shops is when it goes beyond like cosmetics. When the developers, and I won't even say the developers, when the higher ups, the bigwigs of the company say, hey, we need to freaking milk this shit for money, they basically put walls up. They create problems in the game to solve them by making you pay for them in the in-game shop. So that's the big problem with it.
the game, forcing the player to buy more. This leads to a circle
Exactly.
of unbalance, which means people keep buying more to keep up with the bought items in the game. Now, one game I did feel did this justice was Helldivers 2. It actually let you earn in-game tokens the more you played it. Personally, because of this system, it actually...
Yeah, I think Helldivers 2 was like the first game in a long time that the in-game like cash shop felt amazing, right? Like I spent money on the game, I won't lie. I bought one of the passes. The game was awesome. I don't regret it. And the fact that you can earn the credits in the game is astounding. I wish every single game needs to create a system like that, because even if you played through, I mean, you would have to play a lot to earn enough points to actually be able to buy like a $10 worth bundle. So it doesn't feel as bad when you purchase the, like if you just spend real money on it, because you're like, I'm making this choice of, I could go earn it in the game, or I could just drop the $10 because I want to, skip a little bit of time. But the option is there. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like a time gate. They're saying like, hey, it's here if you want to buy it, but we're allowing you to earn it in the game. And huge W for Helldivers on that end. Now, I know Helldivers is under a lot of hate here recently. Outside of that, not talking on that, they did a good job with that system.
It made me want to support the developers more, buying their in-game tokens, because they gave me the option of getting them free in-game.
Literally,
Now,
that's what I just
personally
said,
think
100%.
having no in-game cash shop for Space Marine 2 is a good thing. But on the other side of that coin, you have to look how the money is going to be made for Saber and Focus. This is where I think the information has been lacking, and I really hope this is explored now, because as I mentioned, we are 87 days away from launch. We know right now that this game is going to launch with a season pass and McCragg's honor pack for those who pre-order. The season pass comes with the gold edition and above, but McCragg's honor comes with the base game.
Yeah, so they already have cosmetics you can buy. Like you get additional cosmetics if you pre-purchase it, right? And the whole 4-day early access is bullshit. I mean, everybody knows that, but you get a DLC as well. You get the season pass, Ultramarines Champion Pack, Lieutenant Titus statue, the Steelbook art book, and those, like everything from the collector's edition makes sense, right? That's why it's $250 because you're getting like real world items. That makes sense. But yeah, like the season pass, I mean, they got to make their money somehow. And I don't know. There's no in-game shop, so they say, like no microtransactions, but they're gonna milk you somehow.
If you pre-order it right now. And when it comes to the McCrags on a DLC pack, we know that this will contain 3 items. One being a unique pauldron with a Crux Terminatus
Yeah, so they
design,
obviously have different
and 2
cosmetics.
exclusive skins, one for your chainsword and one for your bolt rifle. At this time, we don't know if this is just...
You got to be careful though, because just because they say no in-game shop, it could be an out-of-game shop where they still sell cosmetics. I mean, you never know with developers these days.
a mere pre-order bonus, or it's going to be available
They're
once
technically
the game
not lying.
has officially launched as its own separate DLC pack. This type of DLC content is not really new when it comes to the Space Marine franchise. In the original game, it had purchasable DLC skins, items such as a golden chainsword and bolt guns. There was also an option for chapter and chaos warband skins, even though the game allowed you to customize, completely change the color of all your armor, put numerous amounts of symbols on your shoulder pads. The game still sold skins that made your character look more epic on the battlefield. I personally think this is going to be the main method that Space Marine 2 developers will follow to monetize this game. When it comes to DLC like this, I personally don't mind paying for it as long as it's good. As long as I think I'm getting...
Yeah, so maybe they're putting like how you can buy some stuff through like the Steam store as a DLC. So maybe just all the content, all the non-microtransactions that they say, like all the cosmetics you can buy, maybe it's just like DLC, like basically out of game shop that you can buy cosmetics.
Getting my money's worth out of it. In the original game,
I don't know
I
that,
bought
but
every single piece of
guessing.
DLC they put out, Space Marine chapters and Chaos Warbands. Yes, I officially do own the Iron Warrior skin for Space Marine 1, and I still regret nothing, brothers. Now, one of the big talking points is season passes, and this is something that's new for me personally. I've never been a part of a game that has done this before. I've never been into the newer types of like Call of Duty games that have all these season passes.
Really?
My FPS days were back when Medal of Honor Allied Assault were taking up everyone's time. We do have an official response from the developers from this, which I'll put in the background in a
I
second.
feel like every game in the last like 50 years, no, not 50, I'm only 25. Every game in the last like 5-10 years, realistically, I feel like every game has had like a season pass.
This was
There's
given
no way
out
he's not
with the new
experienced, though.
co-op operation footage a couple of weeks ago, and it states, players will also be able to customize their Space Marines from Helm to Greaves with a wide selection of colors, heraldry decals, pauldrons, gauntlets, and more. The season pass will grant them even more cosmetics, while new content like missions, enemies, and weapons will be available to all players through regular free updates. So it seems that season passes from that statement are purely cosmetic,
Interesting.
which I think is fantastic. The last thing I want,
That's
of
how they
course,
need to be.
is a weapon being sold in a monetary pack that gives you an advantage over other players in the game. We as Warhammer fans build, paint, and play our armies because we love the way they look. It's all about the rule of cool. So if you give us more options to...
Yeah, that was one thing with Helldivers, for example. Like the other war bond paths that you can purchase in the game actually had a lot of different weapons in them. Like all of them, I think there's like another one that just got released as of, June 17th. And I think that was one kind of issue I had a little bit where, like the incendiary shotgun, for example, like if you guys have played Helldivers 2, it's like the strongest gun in the game, one of them. And you had to purchase that other pack to be able to unlock it. Now, given, like I said, you can earn the points in the game, but I didn't do that. I just purchased the path. Don't hold it to me, right? But I will say a lot of the best guns you could get in the free pass that you unlock in the beginning. But every war bond had like different weapons, and if you wanted them all, yeah, I mean, you'd have to either spend some money or just grind the hell out of the game.
Add rule of cool, I think that is going in the right direction. Again, the packs, the price, it has to be worth it for the players. This is one thing we're still waiting for from the developers, more information about this. Technically, right now, you can theorize and say the season pass will come in around 50 British pounds because it's attached to the golden edition
50 British pounds. I don't know how many. I don't know how much USD that is.
price point of the game that comes in around 79.99 British pounds, where the base game comes in at
Oh, so that's about
54.99 pounds.
30, 40
But,
USD.
and this is a big but, the golden edition of the game also does contain the McCragg's Honor DLC, and it does contain that 4-day pre-order head start bonus as well. When it comes to season passes, from the research that I've done, every game seems different. I really hope that Saber and Focus give us a lot more info on this in the coming weeks so players can see what they're getting for the game. In a perfect world,
The graphics are
I would love a
actually
roadmap, if possible,
extremely
showing
crisp.
what they intend to do with content like this. Since we've spoken a lot about it already, let's talk about the pre-ordering. Every video I have done on Space Marine 2, I always see comments about not pre-ordering the game, and I actually understand people's concerns. I will be 100% honest with you. I pre-ordered the collector's edition of the game as soon as it was available. Not because of the perks attached to it, because I've been a huge fan of this franchise for, 12 plus years now, ever since the original game released. I know friends who are the same mindset as me. They pre-ordered because they too love the franchise. Again, I understand why some of you don't want to do it. I understand that some of the perks attached to the pre-order is making
Yeah, I mean that was basically my point with it too, right? Like I haven't played every single Warhammer game. The people out there, like if you absolutely love it, like do your thing, pre-order, right? But the people in my boat, right? I've only played like Dawn of War, which is an RTS game. It can't speak any volume to relate to like this Space Marine game. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking from the outside in. Now, did I have a good experience with Dawn of War? 100%. Amazing games. I played them all and I loved them. But, this is a whole new kind of deal for me. I didn't play Space Marine 1. So, like, I can't, like, come in here and, like, give my full opinion on, like, hey, don't do it. But it's my opinion at the same time, so I can give it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sharing my experience to other people similar to me, and I think that's what he's saying too, right? Like people have their concerns.
Easier. One being that 4-day pre-order. Some people see that as an unfair advantage when it comes to the games like the PvP system, which I do agree with. But from what I understand,
Well, the early access is bullshit. I mean, every single pre-order game does this. Like every pre-order that comes out, the game is officially ready on a certain day, and then they say, oh well, if you pay us, if you buy it early, we'll give you access to it early. You know what I mean? It used to be because you had to pre-order them from GameStop or like Best Buy because they would run out of stock. I remember going to GameStop at like 9 p.m. and waiting in line for like Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was a young kid, I'd have to go with my older brother because he was old enough to buy it. And that's where pre-orders came. And now it's like kind of pointless because it's a digital product. They have it ready. You know what I mean?
actually level your character, unlock perks and weapons via the co-op operation mode. So hopefully this will help people adjust and learn the game without being smashed with a thunder hammer just because they're 4 days late to the party. Now at the end of this month, we're going to be getting brand new gameplay reveal. It's going to be around 6 to 7 minutes of brand new footage with the developers going over everything. The campaign, the co-op operations,
I'll be covering
the
that.
PvP modes. My first reaction to this was excitement, and I still am excited, but I do wish that this was going to be longer. It seems such a short time to go over so many big points of the game, but at least it's something new, and it gives us more information to talk about and learn about the game. I also theorize that they may announce a beta date during this reveal. One of the things I've speculated on is that Saber and Focus have not yet released the minimum spec requirements for the game, and I'm wondering if they're going to do a beta, gather people's information on how it plays.
Yeah, I don't know. With this quality, I mean, I feel like, and that much shit on screen, I feel like you got to have a pretty good PC at minimum to be able to run all this at the same time, unless they just make a super scaled down graphics version. But I mean, this quality looks pretty damn good.
Plays on systems and then put out those minimum spec requirements. There was also a YouTuber called Luke Stevens who recently did a video on Space Marine 2 because he got to play it at a press event. And in this video, which I will link in the description of this video, he hinted that the build he was playing could possibly be a beta build for players to test the game. I think at this point, it's just a guessing game. I think we should all just keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we are going to get a beta version of this game, a demo to test, where we can all just lose ourselves for like an hour, a couple of minutes, whatever it is, and just purge some Xenos. Just to wrap the video up, I hope Focus and Saber show us more on the planned Just to wrap this video up, I do hope Focus and Saber show us more on the planned monetary content. Just to wrap the video up, I do hope that Focus and Saber show us more on the planned monetary content. I hope we get amazing new skins for all chapters and warbands, and everyone can look like a complete badass on the battlefield as they're all purging each other. Thanks for watching. If you've got any feedback or something
Seems
to
like
add,
he
post it down in the
forgot
comment
to
section.
cut out the
And
ending
we
of the
get a
video
nice
there.
little chin wag down there as we always do. Thanks and bye-bye.
All right, look, my take on the game. The game looks fucking badass. Look, I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm very tempted to pre-order it because I want to play it. I want to try it. The gameplay looks sick. The quality is good, and I mean, Warhammer has a pretty good reputation amongst the industry, right? So I'm gonna continue covering this game, and don't give this guy hate for not cutting out his ending there. It's okay. Mistakes happen to the best of us. We're all human. But if you did like the video, go check him out. I'll link him down below. And if you want more coverage, I'll be following this game, and I will be playing it. So thanks for watching.